Hello, it's Ricardo and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. Yes folks, it's Friday, and what seems to be every Friday, we get a new update about Elite Dangerous Odyssey. Well, this Elite Dangerous Odyssey update Q&A is about footfall, that landing on planets experience. And Stephen Bendetti, the community manager, has put this post up now. He says, "Greetings, commanders." Well, always a good start. We're back this week to answer more of your burning questions on Elite Dangerous Odyssey. This week we are focusing on the brand new first football system. Will I be able to disembark on every planet I can land on? Good question. Odyssey will allow players for the first time to disembark their ships and SRVs and explore the galaxy on foot. The ability to disembark, however, is subject to the survivability of the environment, with temperature and gravity both playing a part in the length of time you can survive. In extreme conditions, the ability to disembark will be blocked completely. So, let's answer the question. Will I be able to disembark on every planet I can land on? No. It'll all depend on environmental issues. Okay. Next up, we've got, is first footfall available to be claimed for every planet? The galaxy of Elite Dangerous isn't new. The year is 3307 and humans have been exploring space for more than 1,300 years. Planets and moons in human-occupied systems, along with particular bodies of historical significance, will have first footfall already claimed. Again, so the answer is no, because people have been out and about, jumping up and down on planets. Okay. How does Odyssey affect the number of landable planets in the game? The number of planets that will be landable for the first time in Odyssey will be in the billions, but to give you a more tangible reference point, based on regions we've tested so far, Odyssey will have around 20% more landable planets than the base game. And when I mean the base game, they mean Horizons, which has now been merged with the base game, so it's all the base game. So, there you go. If I join after launch, will I still be able to experience first footfall? Elite Dangerous is a huge and expansive galaxy containing more than 400 billion star systems. To date, our players have traversed just 2.3 million of these systems, which equates to around 0.05%. In the same way that new commanders continue to join the world of Elite and make their own personal discoveries, we have no doubt that commanders will have the opportunity to make their own discoveries for many years to come. How quickly will first footfall accolades be claimed? Your achievement will be displayed alongside the names of those who first discovered and landed on the planet, which you can find in the system map. Is there a limit to the number of places I can get feet first on in a set amount of time? We won't be imposing any limits, but it will be naturally limited by the speed at which you can travel between planets. Fair enough. And can first football achievements be disputed? In the same way we monitor firsts in the live game today, our anti-cheat team will be monitoring the system and will not hesitate to revoke first football if obtained by illegitimate means. I wonder how that's going to happen. Are there new discoveries, wrecks, etc. that I can get first footfall for? First footfall is recognised and recorded at a planetary level and not for individual points of interest. So if you want to be first in at a Thargoid base, for example, or a crashed Anaconda, then it's actually when you land on that planet. Fair enough. If I change my name, will the first footfall change with it? Similarly to records of other achievements, first footfall is treated as a historical record and be recorded with the commander's name at the time of exploration. This will not change with any other name changes. So there. What happens if two people land first at the same time? In the same way that Buzz Aldrin made way for Neil Armstrong to be the first man on the moon, to control the disembark is for an individual commander. The control to disembark is for an individual commander. Interesting. And there will always be someone first down the ladder. This accolade will not be shared between commanders. So don't go giving it any argy-bargy and bustling around to get out of that. exit ramp and get first footfall. It's exactly what's going to happen. Anyway, keep an eye out on here for our social channels for more exciting news and updates on Elite Dangerous Odyssey. And he gives a good old 7. Not bad. So a few things we can pick up from that. Let's look at it from the top again. Will I be able to disembark on every planet I land on? No. Is first footfall available to be claimed for every planet? Well, it depends if someone's already been on it or not, isn't it? How does Odyssey affect the number of landable planets? Well, you get about 20% more landable planets with Odyssey over the old horizons. If you join after launch, can you still get first footfall? Well, all depends really, doesn't it? You know, there's only 2.3 million of these systems that have been explored, so get out into the black. How quickly will the accolades be claimed? Your name will be displayed as soon as you get it. Is there a limit to the number of places I can get feet first? Well, no, depends how quickly you can get between all these planets. How will first footfall be disputed? Well, they will monitor it, as they monitor with anything with the anti-cheat, which is great. And, you know, to be fair, on this game, you don't need cheating, do you? What about Rex, etc.? Or is it just down to planets? It's just about planets. Can you change your name, and will it change with your credit of your first footfall? No, it'll be as your name as you set foot on it. And don't go barging down the exit ramp. Be gentlemen and ladies about this. First down on the planet gets the footfall, and it's not shared amongst you and your crew. So there you go. Few more things about Elite Dangerous Odyssey. I've been Ricardo. Thanks very much for listening. Check out for the streams on the weekend. We'll be doing the community goal. It's all about Odyssey now, it would seem, wouldn't it, eh? Stay safe. Like and subscribe. See you soon. Hello and welcome back, everybody. I hope you're all doing fine this lovely Saturday afternoon. Well, because England are playing rugby, and me being Welsh, I'm not going to bother watching that. So I thought I'd do a little bit of Elite Dangerous, and, you know, in turn, the Elite Dangerous community goal this week. Now, the community goal this week is one all about mining, and I hear you all groan straight away when I say that. But, and here's the big but, you do get something for your mining. It's not just a badge. You get an enhanced missile rack. And it's all about the Engineers Enhanced Missile Rack Initiative. So Liz Ryder has decided she wants to have the enhanced missile rack, and I was always a little bit perturbed that I didn't do that community goal back, I think it was last November when it came out, October or November. Because you do get it to be a lightweight missile rack with thermal cascade and high capacity. And I thought, ooh, I do fancy a little bit of that. So anyway, what they want you to do, they want shipments of bromelite, lithium hydroxide, osmium and samarium, which can be delivered to the Eurybia system. Well, I've already gone in and I've registered my interest in regards to what I want to do. So it's time to get cracking, right? Get cracking and get mining. It's going to be laser mining and limpets, unfortunately. So, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. So here we go. We're in this field. Where am I? Well, I'll show you where I am. I am in a system about 40, 50 light years away from Eurybia. That's where I am. So let's just change all this stuff we've got here. I went to a realistic map, please. Thanks very much. So my there's Eurybia, whatever you call it, over there, 44 light years away. I've got the fleet carrier parked in Beta Kylie, And I'm down here in Ybor. Yes, Ybor the engine, everybody. That's where I am. And if we go to the system map here, particularly, I am hanging about this star up here, Ybor A4. Now, old Ybor A4 has got some pristine rings, or had pristine rings yesterday. Metal rich and icy rings. Metal rich is what we're after. They were pristine reserves. And mining the bromelite is turning out to be quite easy. So here we go. So I hope you're all having a lovely Saturday. I say I'm not going to watch the England game because, well, to me it's a bit pointless. I'll watch the Welsh game. It's an easy way of slowing down, I suppose. Let's see what pops out of this rock. Absolutely nothing by the look of it. Must be getting something. Oh yeah, look. Water, hydroxide, liquid oxygen, hydrogen peroxide. All this stuff that I don't really want. Any materials? Bit of carbon. Don't need that. No worries. On to the next one. The rumour was right. Yes. So I've been doing a little bit, did a little bit yesterday evening to get myself on the board. You know, bromelite, got 58 tons of that. A little bit of tritium, because you're not going to leave that begging, are you? You know, you're not going to leave that begging around. So yeah, what we got over there? Bromelite. Let's go do some mining. Let's get the fuel scoop on the go. Cargo scoop on the go. The collector's going. Right, so all my flying monkeys are dispatched. Time to mine it up, everybody. Here we go. Yes, mining. Yes, it's going to be a grind. Yes, it's going to be boring. It's a community goal, but at least you're going to get something for it. You know? That's the way I see it. So glass half full sort of thing. Providing I get in the top 75% in this community goal, that is. So I'll fill up, pop off to the station. And away I go. So that must be depleted by now. It certainly is. Get some limpets out there prospecting. That looks like a gnarly old rock there. A lot of deposits on there. So we've got 20% down there. What are we going to have up here? We're going to have a few surface deposits of something or other. Of course, you know, I mean, yeah, right, it's all about the community goal. But if you're going to come across some nice low temperature diamonds, you're not going to sort of kick them out of bed, are you? So let's go down there. Do some of that mining. So it looks like it's going to be a complete and utter bromelite fest. Because that seems to be the most prevalent material around. I mean, yes, they want osmium and samarium as well, but I've not really come across much of that, to be honest, on my travels. A couple of rocks, but nothing amazing. There's a bromelite deposit on this as well, so on another rock. And we are mining away like the Billio. Look at that. So yes, good old laser mining. The official way to bore yourself utterly stupid. So welcome people who have just joined. We're doing our thing on Twitch. And we're doing it on YouTube. I've also tried doing this on Steam as well. So it'll be quite interesting. Right, so we have depleted all of that. There's that bromelite deposit. Now we got an abrasion blaster fitted to this rig. There it is. A couple of deposits knocking about there, look. Bit of water, not that we want that. But we'll go for the bromelite as it comes around again. Jules, how you doing? Kadago, how are you today? Hope you're all doing fine. Yes, indeed, 07 Commanders. Right, where is it? I want that bromelite deposit because it's a ton. It's a ton of bromelite. And when you're in the market for a bit of bromelite, that's what matters. And that's water down there, so we don't want that. I forget how responsive I got this cutter tuned as well. So what do we all think about the announcement about the feet first dynamic in Elite Dangerous Odyssey? So quite a few things, you know, not every planet out there is going to allow you to land. You're not going to get feet first on everything. People have been out there doing their walking about first, right, and driving about. They state in the stats there's like something like 4.5 billion planets, like in the Elite Dangerous simulation, and only 2.3 million have actually been, you know, people have been on them. So there's still plenty of scope to get this the foot first dynamic to happen. And I think like what a lot of people are doing with fleet carriers is that they are they're going to be planning a trip just before Odyssey comes out so they can get that feet first dynamic, which is a good thing to think about when you think about it. What I should be doing is pointing myself at the planet so I've got a point of reference so I know where I'm going. So there's the Limpets doing their thing. Planet's over there somewhere. And just because we're in a metal-rich asteroid belt, there's no reason why we shouldn't have a little bit of a look around as well with the old pulse scanner to see if there's anything else tasty around. You know, nothing really over there. Perhaps that one. But all the other rocks, you know, pretty much here for your bromelite. Is that one there? No. Seems to be plenty more rocks behind us than there are in front of us. Perhaps we'll flip the ship round and do a bit of mining that way. That's an interesting one right there. The old popcorn one. No gankers. No, I'm playing in solo, Brian. Oh, definitely. Everyone's going to be rushing around. I mean, what do you do? Do you get your feet on planets, or
Prospector Limpet engaged.
You know, or do you do something else? You know, or do you go somewhere else and do something else, like the first-person shooter? It's like, ooh, I don't know what to do first. I don't know what to do first. You know, I want to see what the combat does. That might have a core in it. That's the thing. You know, and I found a couple of, well, quite a few planets, you know, back when I did the Colonia trip about 3-4 years ago. Found quite a few planets, got my name on it, which was good. And you think, oh, I'm immortalized in the game. Let's face it, does it really matter? It's seeing that sort of Neil Armstrong moment, isn't it? Where's my lasers? There they are. That's what everyone wants to see. They want to see them hit that planet for the first time. Yeah, you're right, Stephen. I did. I went back and I just happened to bounce in some random place, and I got a hell of a lot more muscovite than in the hotspot. You're right there. I'm just particularly unlucky when it comes to rare materials or expensive materials. Bromelite, you can see I'm falling over it. You know, I am falling over the stuff. A little bit of tritium coming out there as well. And that's always good, you know, fuel the fleet carrier up. And what have you. Let's get some more limpets doing their thing.
Programming limpet drone. Programming limpet drone. Programming limpet drone.
Let's fire some prospectors off. What I haven't got here is a subsurface displacement missile. Now the reason for that is I wanted to fit an extra mining laser because it makes things a little bit easier. You know what I mean? There's my pulse wave. There's quite a few behind me. Rocks that showed up. I thought, oh, that looks interesting. Like that one there. That looks interesting there. And the one below it. So let's head on over. So it's great. Thank you everyone for joining me on a lovely Saturday afternoon, despite the English rugby going on. Wales plays Ireland tomorrow, so the stream may be slightly delayed. I might come in about 5 o'clock because it's 3 o'clock tomorrow. Oh, I do think the Odyssey update is going to bring loads of sort of longevity to the game. You know, definitely. Like, I think it's really gonna make the game shine through. I just hope they don't cock it up. You know, I think everyone hopes they don't cock it up.
Programming limpet drone. Asteroid scan complete. Prospector limpet engaged. Prospector
Right, there we are. We got a 24% there.
complete.
Where's mid lasers? Mid lasers, there they are.
Prospector limpet engaged. Asteroid scan.
Yes, the Imperial cutter. If you can afford one, fantastic ship. Else, you want to be mining in the old Python, don't you? You know what I mean? It's talk about quintessential ship. I mean, I've got my Corvette. I've got it all engineered up for combat, but for mining, otherwise the ship was just doing nothing. You know. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Probably depleted now.
Collector limpet expired.
What are we getting? Still sulfur and carbon around as well. Lots of bromelite. Now there was a rock just behind this one that was glowing a funny colour. And now it's stopped glowing a funny colour. Is it this way? Because, you know, it's nothing stopping you being on the hunt for cores as well around you. nothing so far. Anyway, on with what we're doing. We're pointing at the planet. It's a nice bright one, this. Shoot a prospector limpet at that. Yeah, it's right, isn't it? You know, it's it'll be a good game tomorrow. That's why I'm gonna have the stream a little bit later, I think. Well, we can still do it. So yeah, this community goal sort of like came out of the blue a bit, didn't it? And I was thinking, well, I didn't have that enhanced missile rack, and I missed out on the engineered FSD, and I thought that would have been quite good. Missed out on that. So I'm not really an avid player of the community goals. I mean, I like doing my own thing. But when this missile rack came up, I thought, I fancy a bit of that. So here I am. Doing my thing. You know, and I can be going in there just randomly shooting asteroids without using prospectors. Some people find that a bit easier. Me, however, no. I am prospecting them, doing it the hard way. That's a nice view, innit? If that's a screenshot, if ever there was one. Get the lasers out as well. That's a good screenshot, that is. What have we got over there? Bromelite, 28%. We'll have some of that. Let's get ourselves over there. Let's meander over there. Get a few more collector limpets on the go. Here we go. Here we go. We are mining again. Mining. So that's really the only reason why I'm doing it. And I think, you know, if the community goals did offer funky modules and a more osmium, well, if I can find osmium, yes, I'll do it, David. Brian, yeah, exactly like you. I want to make sure I get that missile rack. You know, and I missed it last time as well, so I'm in the mood for it. I felt like it was a party going on and I missed it because I was doing other things. I know it sounds a bit daft, but, you know, that's what I thought it was. And I'll get osmium if it pops up, don't get me wrong, like, but mostly it's bromelite. Ooh, 30% there, we'll have some of that too. It's quite close. We should be able to still pick up all that stuff as well, and mine all of that. Just back off a bit. What are we getting? Bromelite. Bit of sulfur. Water. All that guff. Yes, the double engineered FSD, that would certainly help. I missed out on that one. And I was gutted about that. So we've depleted that one. That's cool. Let's reorientate ourselves. couple of nice rocks out there as well. We'll see, you know, see how things are going. Nothing that's got a core in it, mind. But you never know, do you? You never know. What with the pulse scanner being as it is. I mean, I completely nutly stocked up on limpets. I had like 430 tons of limpets. And we know we're getting there. 88 tons of bromelite. A little bit of tritium we've had sneaking in. Got some more over there. Anyone of you guessing exactly where I am in the eyeball system. I'm up here on planet A4A. Ring A, which is the metallic ring. Pristine reserves. Outer ring is all icy. Ring A4A, metal rich. So there you go. Quite a few hot spots there as well. You got. So we're in the bromelite one, obviously. A little bit of void opal, bit of low temperature diamonds, some alexandrite. Quite fancy that, you see. Rod plum site. Made a killing on that. I made a killing on rod plum site. I mean, I cashed in what I did last weekend. You know, it wasn't the multiple hundreds of millions I was used to, but I still got about 250 million out of it. And I basically got fed up. So I just sold it. So let's move our way in a leisurely fashion over there while the limpets do their thing. 5 limpets on the go, it would appear. Can never get 6 limpets on the go, though. That's the only problem I've found. Whether it's me, anyone else notice if you've got the ability to launch 6 limpets, right? You've never got 6 limpets on the go for long. Yeah, you're right. There is a lot to get done in Elite when you're starting out on things. I mean, the first thing, really, Todd the Blaster and Felicity. Once you get them, you know, it's up to you whether you want to do it. I'm still going through the engineers myself, you know. It's like something you have to do, and then something like this comes up, and you go, oh, I can't be bothered. And, oh, I want to go look at the Thargoids. Oh, I want to go and do the Guardians and all the rest of it. So it's when a game starts being a little bit too much like work, you're like, ah. Yes, the Badger's Lust. That's what my ship is called. Right, that's depleted. But big news as well. I have jogged on away from Ashling Duval after spending many millions of credits on prismatic shields. And now I've aligned myself with Li Yongri, the man who has the packhounds. So we'll be doing that. Community goal to death as well. Some stage of the game. Not community goal, basically power play engineering, whatever you want to call it. Because I haven't got packhounds either. So many things in the game, you know, that have, I wouldn't say passed me by, but I couldn't be bothered with, really. Tasty old rock there. We'll shoot the hell out of that and then do the one behind it. Yeah, that's depleted. And what I've noticed since the balancing, the old limpets don't last very long, do they? Have you noticed that? Let's get over here. Mine this up. Not a very juicy rock, but, you know, medium material content, which is good. Only 8% bromelite, but who cares at this stage in the game? Bromelite's bromelite. Every little helps, like they say in the supermarkets. And, you know, it's getting the ship to work for me as well, and you think about it that way.
Asteroid depleted.
Nearly at 100 tons of bromelite. Let's do another cheeky scan, see if there's anything around you we can set a limpet on. Nothing that's got that quintessential black glow that I can see. Nothing really in there.
Programming limpet drone.
But it might have bromelite.
Prospect to limpet failed. Prospect to
Let's get ourselves over here.
asteroid scan complete.
What's all this about? What are we getting? Hydrogen peroxide. A little bit of bromelite in there. So yeah, it seems like every Friday now, Frontier Developments are coming out with a question and answer session in regards to Odyssey. Which is good if you're not playing this on a console, but I reckon it is rubbing the old salt in the wounds to all the console commanders. And I'm not here to gloat, I really am not, you know, but it really must sting because, you know, all this feet first and first footfall stuff that they were going on about in their Q&A yesterday. I mean, surely on the consoles, because it's all the same universe really, the console commanders are not going to get that opportunity, or the experience is going to be spoiled for them because of, you know, the alpha and the release of the game being out much earlier, which is a dire shame.
Asteroid scan complete.
Absolute dire shame.
Failed. Prospect to limpet engaged.
It's like we're getting a stack of stuff out of here. A stack of bromelites coming out. Good. Asteroid is depleted by the look of it. Let's move on to this one. I mean, I've got an Epic account as well, and I've got a Steam account for Elite Dangerous. You know, my Steam account, that commander is down at Robigo Mines, and I'm leaving the Epic Games one for a bit of a later date, to be honest. In case there's any sort of major changes in the game. Come to me, my bromelite, come to me. Normally I wouldn't, do you know what, I mean, strange thing happened. So I started this yesterday evening, I thought I'll have a quick go, make sure I'm in the right place and all the rest of it. And, okay, fair enough, off I went, dropped down into the system, then into the ring, and I thought, right, let's go. Did my mining, got some bromelite, right? And off go the limpets, and the limpets start picking things up and all. I think, oh, this is great. This makes a change because you know how much bad luck I get out of mining. I thought, hang on, you know, the bromelite's not going into the cargo hold. You know, what am I doing? What am I doing? And I thought, you know, all the limpets just hanging around. Well, because I don't normally mine bromelite, right? Here's the thing. I had it on the panel. I had it ignored. It's on my ignore list. And that's why I wasn't going in. So, Saxus, nice to have you here. And you've done all this, have you already? Osmium. Well, osmium's worth more than bromelite. Yeah, and I'm exactly right there, Jules. I'm looking forward to that new Commander playthrough. You know, I'll get round to it. You know, it's
Programming limpet drone.
let's get some more of these limpets on the go.
Programming limpet drone. Programming limpet drone.
And what's this but being a console peasant? Don't think of yourself like that. I got a console. Yeah, do you know what, Brian? It is disappointing, I think, for the console commanders. But when you think about the fact that the PC owners are going to be going through the pain. I think with the next gen consoles, and we've got a Series X in this house, you know, it runs smoother. The graphics are sharper, you know, and until the developers start getting out there and writing things specific for the consoles, and that won't happen. Well, there'll be some key games that will. They're always going to be backwardsly compatible with the Xbox One, at least I reckon for the next 12 months, right, till they can shift it. And people start getting on there. We saw that with the 360, you know, but with the Xbox One, I always felt it was, and I've got one. I was always felt that it was a console that was just second fiddle to the PlayStation. It always was. It was onto a losing battle. There were never that many sort of like key titles for it, and solitary titles for it, like what the PlayStation had. But now, hopefully, they've old Phil Spencer, who's the senior vice president for Xbox at Microsoft, has kind of pulled his finger out and done something with it. But with Elite Dangerous and Odyssey, you know, Odyssey is a DLC, really, isn't it? Because you have to have the base game. So it was never going to be sort of rewritten, unfortunately.
Scan complete.
Else it'd be a completely different game. I mean, saying that though, I mean, depending how YouTube goes, and how much, you know, how many views videos get and all that sort of stuff, may or may not accelerate when I get a new PC, because that certainly helps towards it. So we'll have to see. So like and subscribe, everybody, if you haven't already done so. I need a new PC, but this one's about 5 years old, like I said, and it's starting to show its age, especially when doing content creation, because, well, to be perfectly honest with you, it takes about an hour to render something in high definition. You know, it's Gen 4 i7, so you know it is getting long in the tooth. So I wonder if anyone's actually watching on Steam, because I'm streaming it to Steam as well at the moment, and it would be quite interesting to see if anybody's watching on Steam. I can see some of you are using Twitch, which is great. Is there any lag on YouTube? Because YouTube's been terrible lately, especially, you know, what with video lag. In fact, you know, the entire Sky network went down yesterday. So, Limpets are still collecting. All good stuff. Over to this one. The Bearded Trio, thank you for subscribing. It's always nice to meet another fellow commander. Really, no platinum at all. That's a shame. I say I'm doing the bromelite because that's what they wanted. So you know they wanted bromelite. What do they want? They want bromelite. They want lithium hydroxide, osmium, and samarium, delivered to area Fleurbel. Fleurbel? In the Eurybia system. No idea where area Fleurbel is in the Eurybia system. I will have a look when I get there. But all things considered, bromelite seems to be the bomb at the moment. So let's get the prospector on the go.
Prospector limpet failed.
We've had a few low temperature diamonds creep in here as well, which has been nice. These collector limpets, they don't last like what they used to, do they? Oh, it's by the star, is it? Really close. Coriolis Starport, is it?
Asteroid scan complete.
What tier is the community goal in now? I don't know. Still in tier 1. Gone past tier 1, it's in tier 2. Four days to go. And you've got to get in the top 75%. Is it? Oh, so it's really close then, Saxus. That's really good. That is good stuff. Where are we next? Contacts. Prospector. Lithium hydroxide over there, look. So we're going to get that, and we're going to get a little bit of bromelite. Let's mine all this up. And then what I'll do is I'll get some more collector limpets on the go. And while I'm doing that, that will give me time to go and get a beverage. And because it's Saturday, it's frosty beverage time, because Saturday afternoons, even though all the afternoons merge into one, it's time for a frosty beverage. What are we getting here? We are getting hydrogen peroxide. We are getting... Do I need that? Lithium hydroxide, I need, not hydrogen peroxide. Got a little bit of that. So it's a lithium hydroxide there, so remove that. Don't want water. So yeah, we're kind of sort of double dipping the elements there. Let's orientate ourselves so we're about between them. Let's get some collector limpets on the go. And I am going to go and get myself, unless my son's drunk it, a pint of beer. Be right back. Yes, folks, I'm back, and it's a lager day today with Foster's Lager, not the most quintessential thing. Yes, very important. Don't drink and drive, especially spaceships. Well, there you go, see. Right, I think the flying monkeys have done their thing, which is good.
Programming limpet drone.
Let's head on between these two rocks. Well, we're doing quite well on the inventory. 114 tons of bromelite, 4 of hydroxide, and I got some tritium that I come across, so, you know, that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Programming limpet drone. Prospect to limpet failed.
Put this one over here.
Programming limpet drone. Prospect to limpet.
Just on the hope that I might get a core. Where's my lasers?
Prospect to
Here
limpet
they are.
engaged.
What's that one got?
Asteroid scan complete. Prospect
Water.
engaged.
What are we getting out of this? Lithium hydroxide.
Asteroid scan complete.
Not bothering with that one. What's the other perspective got?
Programming limpet
There you
drone.
go.
Prospect to limpet failed. Prospect to limpet failed. Prospect to limpet engaged.
Let's get a bit of
Scan complete.
mining on the go, and I'll take you through the build. I haven't got a Coriolis link for it. I should do that, really.
Prospect to limpet
Let's
engaged.
get over there. Fire one at that as well, see what's going on.
Asteroid scan complete. Prospect to limpet.
Yeah, we always like a little bit of tritium, right? Everyone likes a little bit of tritium. Yeah, about 22.8. Let's get that mined out.
Asteroid scan complete.
My big concern with Odyssey coming is the amount of materials you're going to need. And my materials sort of like having run low. But you know what, I'll do a link for this particular miner. It's general purpose miner, this is, because you never know when you're going to get a core. Some people have a ship for so 8D thrusters, right? Only 8D because I couldn't really be bothered to buy any others. I should really. So that's the next thing I'm going to upgrade on this. Prismatic shield generator, and I've got reinforced shields on that, which needs a bit more engineering. Got my frame shift wake scanner, because you never know when you're going to come across somebody being a bit cheeky. Also the kill warrant scanner. Sensors, engineered long range. Got some beam lasers overcharged, just for a bit of defense. But I aim, after I do the Packhound power play, to do the person who's got the militarized mining lasers. Pulse wave scanner, OVS. Shield booster. So again, we've got double braced, resistance augmented. I know, prismatics, you gotta get your prismatics in there when you can. I can always repurpose this into a fighting ship, you see. It was my go-to ship for a long time. Seismic charge launcher, another seismic charge launcher, because at one stage I ran out. Okay. Shield booster again, and that one is on flow control, heavy duty shield booster. And I've got them switched off because, you know, why bother? Got me frame shift drive. Got that engineered up. Increased FSD range and deep charge. and a normal power distributor, weapon focused. So then, got me mining lasers, got me collector limpets, 2 of them, and they're lightweight, and that's it. Abrasion blaster, prospector limpet controller, again that is lightweight, and a point defense turret that stops cheeky monkeys stealing all the stuff that I've mined, and a chaff launcher. Now the ship. So let's turn all the jobbies on. Let's turn the shield booster on. Right, and let's go to the ship. So the armor health 1,237, shield health 2,131. Well, quite possibly. I went for deep charge because I thought, well, why not? But, you know, I'm always open to changing the modules around and things, putting them on other ships and what have you. Right, so we've done that. We depleted that one. Where is the next? Bromelite. There it is. Afternoon. Cravicea UK. Coming to us on Twitch. Bit more mining. I'm not even really paying much attention to what I'm mining, to be honest. It's just picking up whatever. So let the limpets do their thing. We've got plenty of fuel. Stations in system. Just sitting here really chilling out and getting on with it. That's one of the best things, isn't it, with this sort of laser mining. It's not as frustrating as deep core mining. Why have I double? Oh, what am I doing?
Asteroid scan complete.
There we go. More mining. Well, yeah, I mean, I found a couple of tons of tritium here, to be perfectly honest. And some low temperature diamonds. Yeah, I've had a run of bad luck with core mining. Which has been a shame, really, because I used to have quite a bit of luck with it. Strange how things go.
Collector limpet expired. Programming limpet drone.
Let's get forward and get out of the way of that.
Programming limpet drone. Prospector limpet failed. Prospector limpet engaged.
Nothing I need in that one, is there?
Asteroid scan complete. Programming limpet drone.
Yeah, so it's... I suppose it's a bit relaxing, this community goal.
Asteroid scan complete.
Boring as well, mind. Yeah, it's like driving a grand piano, really, isn't it? You know, it's all over the place. What's happened here? Why aren't my
Engaged.
limpets doing anything? They've all buggered off, haven't they?
Programming
Let's get some more launched.
Asteroid scan complete. Programming limpet drone. Programming limpet drone.
Right. Let's go for these over here.
Programming limpet drone. Prospect to limpet failed.
And then that one there. Let's see if it's anything worthwhile.
Prospect to limpet engaged. Programming limpet drone.
Bromelite.
Prospect to
Not particularly tasty rocks, though, are they? Unfortunately.
prospect to limpet engaged.
Yeah, it does make you feel a bit laid back. You're right there.
Asteroid scan complete.
It's just, oh, come on, let's mine this crap. Like, they couldn't have given us a material that was worth a pretty penny as well. You could go, well, I'll offset some of my costs. I'll deposit some to the community. Go, oh, deposit some somewhere else. I mean, there's what did I say there was? There was 2,000 people. Or was it? 2,313 commanders contributing to this so far. And 4 days to go.
Asteroid depleted.
Asteroid depleted.
Collector limpet expired.
Bloody collector limpets. There should be engineering for long-range or hardy collector limpets. Gottstein, how's it going? Commander Bullet. Yeah, there may well be. Let's just back the ship off this a minute.
Asteroid depleted.
And then I can realign.
Programming limpet drone. Prospect to limpet failed. Programming limpet drone.
Get more prospectors going. Yes, go, my pretties. 65 Jukester, how's it going? 07 to you. Hello Ace, how are you doing? Nice to see people joining on a Saturday. Obviously, you're all not watching the English rugby then. It's England, Scotland, is it? Let me check. Who is it? Six Nations. In America, it's a Super Bowl this weekend, isn't it? So it's England, Scotland, and Italy, France. And here is the news. France lead Italy by 21 points at 24-3 at half time. Poor old Italy. Oh yeah, big day tomorrow. So the stream will be delayed tomorrow till about 5 o'clock, all depending on how drunk I am. Yes, everyone's got strict instructions to get the dinner on and finished by 1,500 hours tomorrow. So I aim to start around about 5 o'clock GMT tomorrow. So, yes, the Wales Island game. Not sure how it's going to go because I don't think anybody's really seen, the teams playing and prepping, what with COVID and all the rest of it. So, yeah, Ace, you're right. I've got an account with Steam down there at the moment, and I'll probably do a little bit of that tomorrow, some Rubigo mines tomorrow. Well, yeah, you can't. I think if you've mined things and then put things in your your carrier, yeah, that could be a good way of doing it, couldn't it, really? Okay. So, the Limpets are still doing their thing. Oh. I've had to go and buy a new chair for my office. I mean, I sit on it all day, every day, obviously, because it's a chair. And the company I work for, who will remain nameless, but it's a big tech outsourcer, have closed one of our offices, the office I was attached to, which is fine, because I work from home anyway, it doesn't affect me. And they were meant to buy me a chair. But guess what? Oh, sorry, we can't. So when I go off work with a bad back, which I do sometimes, they won't have a leg to stand on. So anyway, I've gone out and I've bought myself a secret lab chair. Doesn't that sound posh? Right? It was the cheapest one they did, right? Went for the sort of like black sort of like false leather and the gold piping. I think it's their default one. But it did look really good. I think it's not the Titan, it's the Omega I went for. So full review on the secret lab chair when it turns up. It's going to be better than this bloody thing I'm sat on here. It's absolutely ridiculous. 1 billion in sales for your fleet carrier. Come on. What the hell are you doing there? What are you selling? Don't think anybody buys a thing at my fleet carrier. Ooh, bit of tritium there. Let's mine the ass off that. Yeah, I looked at that as well. And I think it only affects the collectors. No, the actual Limpet collector, not the Limpets themselves, I believe. It's like hardens the module. But we're doing alright. We're doing alright. I mean, they're expiring all the time, aren't they? Ooh, look out, little bit of lithium hydroxide coming out. That's what it's all about, isn't it? This is what I don't get. If you prospect an asteroid, you get a bigger yield. If you don't, you get like 1/3 of the yield. I've always wondered about that, because it makes you want to go and buy Limpets then, doesn't it? Oh, we're getting up there, 137 tons. Woohoo! Still loads of other fragments that are they going to go and collect them? Yes, they are. Just wait here for a bit. Let them do their thing. The seat's rock hard, is it? It's meant to be all-encompassing, lovely, lovely, isn't it? The best seat on the market. Ah, landmines. Good stuff, Ace. So, Saxus, I mean, yeah, I mean, it comes with the bolster cushion. What sort of cushion did you buy for yours then? Anything special? Because if I find it's crap, it's going back for that sort of money. It's like 300 quid. Or 319 pounds I think I paid for it. It's a lot of scratch for a chair. Especially when my company should have bought me one. Right? And the price they were charging for those office chairs are absolutely ridiculous. Okay. Let's get over there. Mine this.
Collector limpet expired.
Oh no, collector limpets. It is a lot, but like I'm sick of buying chairs that cost 50 quid, 60 quid, something like that, and then lasting like 6 months before the padding goes and all the rest of it, and then you get back problems. And these have got so good reviews. I thought, well, okay, well let's try it on. So, and they come with a good warranty and what have you. So we'll see how it goes, how it works out. I mean, the chairs that work were meant to buy me, they were coming in at like £395 for a normal office chair. You got to think, what? You know, or whatever. You watch. What'll happen is that they'll say, "Oh yeah, you can order your chair, and here's the stuff now, and
Programming limpet drone.
I'll have 2 chairs."
Programming limpet drone.
Comfortable for napping. So what cushion did you buy then, Saxus? Put a link in so I can have a look.
Programming limpet drone.
15-pint limit. People chromatosed all around the country. Oh, the rugby's on.
Prospector limpet engaged.
I saw a friend of mine when I was out walking the dog. I said, how you doing? She went, oh, I just want to go out and get absolutely faced, right? And I said, yeah, I know what you mean. But all the pubs are closed. And now I see in Wales, what they're trying to do, they want to open the pubs, but not sell alcohol. Brilliant idea. I don't know who is advising the Welsh government, but they're obviously they're obviously not Welsh. They open the pubs. Oh, they can sell food. What if they don't sell food? It's something crisp. You can go down the pub and say, can I have that dodgy cheese roll there and a packet of peanuts, my good man? Oh, by the way, I'll have a Coke as well. You got to wonder how some of these people are completely and utterly disconnected with the rest of humanity.
Asteroid defeated.
You know, and how are the pubs going to govern who can come in to the pub and drink or not? You know, who's had their vaccine? There's no national card, wristband, tag or app that says, yes, you can have it. You can come in.
Prospector limpet.
So it does make me wonder, you know, what's going on.
Programming limpet drone.
It really does.
Prospector limpet engaged. Prospector limpet failed. Asteroid scan complete.
Black and grey. I wondered about the fabric when I thought, you know, and it comes with some sort of like plasticky leather. I thought I'll go for that one instead. That's what I thought. So it does come in a huge box. So it's only what put the base on and put the usual sort of chair assembly job, is it? Or is it mostly assembled? I am looking forward to it. 19th of March, everybody, is going to be D-Day for the new chair turning up, and I can't wait. There was a couple of chairs in Costco, like even Lazy Boy had an office chair. I thought, oh, do you know, I quite fancy some of that. And I thought, nah, you know. But it's huge. Oh, well, good stuff, you know, so the packaging's all there then. Right, where's my other prospector? What have we got? 30% bromelite. Where is it? There it is. Fire all mining lasers. All mining lasers fire. Asteroid depleted. I mean, it's a bit of, you know, this community goal, you can tell, you know, is going to be a bit of a fag, right? Steve, I know what you mean. It's very luxurious, isn't it? The Imperial cutter. Right, it's a bit boring. It's a bit of a fake. Come in here, you think, right, I'm going to commit myself. I'm going to commit myself to spending an afternoon doing this. But like, it's not rip roaring exciting, is it? In fact, I'm surprised there's 23 people watching the stream. You only need a matching stool. Could be quite handy to relax when I'm on all these boring Teams meetings as well during the day. I can really recline on it. When you've got enough cash from mining, then engineering it is. But this goal is all about the enhanced missile rack. You see? Which came out. Lightweight, high capacity, and thermal cascade on it. You see? Our advanced missile racks available for the game. It's the community goal. Yeah, this is what we're doing. This is exactly what we're doing. You've got AX missile racks and you've got missile racks, but the advanced missile rack or enhanced missile rack is what we've got here. That's the thing. I think they didn't get enough people doing the goal, did they, to get the advanced missile rack in the game? So this one having another go because obviously they've put a bit of work in. That's interesting. Right. We'll take what we can out of that one and then down to that one is 24.787%. So let's talk about Is it used for Xeno 2? Don't know, I haven't got it yet. But high capacity, thermal cascade. There was an advanced missile rack out there that you could turn around and you could make anti-Xeno missiles, couldn't you? I think. Right. Let's get ourselves down to the other one. That one there. Yeah, I know what you mean, Saxus. Yeah, lightweight. I'm not even shooting anything there. Lightweight is the problem, isn't it? Who has a lightweight missile rack? For God's sake. When you're firing things of destruction out of it, why would you want to go lightweight? That's what I couldn't quite understand. But, you know, it's a community goal, and why not? Next up, on extreme bromite line. On extreme bromelite miners. It's like something you should have on Discovery Channel, isn't it? Bromelite rush. Whitewater bromelite. Oh dear me.
Prospector limpet engaged.
Funny stuff.
Asteroid scan complete.
So streaming this to Steam is a complete and utter waste of time then, because absolutely nobody is watching this on Steam. I didn't even know Steam had a streaming service, right? Until this week, and I thought, let's have a go at that then. You never know. We'll see how it goes. But no, they're getting in on the streaming stuff as well. You know, good for them. But ooh, tritium. Now we're coming down to the stuff that I need, but I don't really need. Yeah, I've just... Ace, you probably missed this because you joined a little bit late. I've now aligned myself with... What's his bollocks? Him. Right? Lee Yong-ri. Right? And he's a cheeky monkey, he is. He's independent. But you do get at 750 merits Packhound rack. And that's what it's all about. And after that, I'll do the guy who does the mining, I think. I may have to buy another storage ship to put all these packhounds on. This is tritium we've got here. We've got a tritium rock, which is good. So, looks like I've got to launch more collectors. So tomorrow we'll be doing Robigo mines, I think. Just to really kill everybody off with boredom.
Programming limpet drone. Prospector limpet failed.
Hello, JH. And all the Chinese lettering. How are you doing?
Prospector limpet engaged.
Hope you're enjoying the stream.
Asteroid scan
We are streaming on Facebook, Steam, I know, can you believe it? YouTube and the Twitch. Oh, it's taking its time, isn't it? It's all so boring. All we got to do is look around the shop, look around this. I mean, what's that doing all the way over there? Right, and I've often wondered about the cutter. So, who's he sat? So what does he do? Sat in the back then, all the way over there. Sweet bugger all, by the look of it. Very interesting indeed. You know, does make you wonder, doesn't it? And then, so you got one seat there, nothing else there. There's the seat just over his shoulder there, nothing over here, which makes you wonder, what's that there? Huh? What's there? Boom! Good day to you, sir. You got Major dead. Yeah, happens. Happens to us all. I mean, how many times did I die before I got one? I got one killed in the crater engineered. I mean, there's Thargoids in the decayed system, which is one moment players. Where are we? Here. So not too far away. There be Thargoids there. For some reason, apparently. Whether they're still there or not, I don't know. But I could, you know, jump the carrier in there tomorrow and see if the Anaconda can do any damage. Because I've got that fitted out with shard cannons. And I like the idea of going after a Cyclops and going boom, boom, boom. And it being dead. I've seen it down on YouTube. I'm kind of hoping you can still do it. Because that was my whole aim for all of this. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's one of the, like people were saying, and a lot of people here on this stream have done Thargoid combat, and it is the hardest thing in the game. Not to say you shouldn't do it. I mean, I put it off for years, and took me a couple of goes, but I did it. I think I did it two weeks ago. I think I did my Thargoid stuff. Two vultures escorting him. I bet that was hard stuff with the for the Lance. Yeah, I saw someone kill a Medusa in an eagle and in a Sidewinder, and you got to think, well, that's some stuff, you know. They use that orbital method of shooting the Thargoid and zooming away, don't they? Asteroid depleted. Oh, my dog. Wish he would stop shouting at squirrels. So we're zooming in a bit closer. Slowing down a bit. Yeah, seriously. Yeah, Guardian Shard Cannons. And or the... What are they? Not Shard Cannons. There's Shard Cannons that are pretty good. And then there's the Guardian Gauss Cannon. That's the stuff. And then at some stage, you got to get myself some Guardian Shield. I'm getting all the crap rocks now. Look at this. 161 tons of the bromelite. It's where it's at. Bromelite, everybody. Right, so that's depleted. On to the next one. Yeah, I'm going for pack hounds next, Roger. That's the thing. That's the next big thing I'm after. There should be an engineer, though, right? Who will give you a special type of hull. You know, I don't know. That would be something, wouldn't it? At least that would get people around doing the power play. I mean, the prismatics are good, but they're heavier than the normal shields and all the rest of it. And they give you about an extra 30-40% shield rating. Plus you can engineer them. And it's a shame the Guardian stuff you can't engineer. And we're depleted. Next up on Extreme Rock Miners. How'd you grow your YouTube channel? Don't ask me. I don't know. I've been trying for years. Thargoid enhanced hull reinforcement. Now that's something, because, you know, why have those Thargoid materials, right? You can't do bugger all with them. Does make you wonder, doesn't it? Yeah, there's AX weapons and all the rest of it, but like, you know, they're missing out on an enhanced hull. Asteroid depleted. Where are we going to go next? Let me have a look. Yes, folks. More mining. Could be. I mean, there's lots of changes in the law that could happen, isn't it? I mean, to be honest with you, I think nobody knows. I'm not even sure if Frontier knows. They're so focused on Odyssey right now. It does make you wonder if, you know, the narrative, who's controlling it. Because it's difficult to see things, see all the dots connected up.
Collect a limpet expired.
But the last sort of like story-led, sort of like who did it mystery mission, there was thousands of people playing it.
Asteroid scan complete. Collect a limpet expired.
With Odyssey, they need to put a few new ships back in. It's all about ships, right? They need new modules. They need to bring in the military laser, right? Not just old beam laser. They got to bring in the military laser. I don't know why they didn't bring in military lasers.
Asteroid depleted.
Well, Star Citizen. Yeah. That's hard work. The Bird Diaries. Yeah, well, might well be. Might well be. You could be right there.
Programming limpet drone. Collect a limpet expired. Programming limpet drone.
More limpets away.
Programming limpet drone.
Off they go. No, I don't think they'll go for a mini carrier. They want to make the fleet carriers be useful. I mean, we were talking about this the other week, weren't we? We were saying, well, there's a Nautilus skin, that's scientific. There's the Victory skin, which is aimed towards combat, and then there's the one that's aimed towards trade. Forget what that is. Anyway. And there's the normal skin. When they first announced fleet carriers, they said, oh, and your carriers are going to have different abilities. Okay, brill. I don't see those different abilities. Right? I just see a skin. You're right there, Steve. They should be able to avoid in combat or have an enhanced exploration, like a bigger jump range. Or, you know, with the trade, be able to buy at a discount. You should be able to buy and have your carrier stocked at a discount if you go trade. At the moment, it's just a pretty skin. Silas, how are you doing? Nice to see you. To see you nice. We're just talking about fleet carriers and how, well, what's the point of having all these different skins on there other than Frontier to have arcs? And the money from arcs and people playing skins. Don't get me wrong, I'm not being a hypocrite. I have bought a skin for myself. I have the Victory class skin. However, what we're saying is that, well, the Victory class skin is meant to be a fighting ship skin. Nautilus is meant to be scientific, and then there's a trade one, right? But what's the benefit other than it just looking different? Right? They don't do anything, see? They don't do anything. So they need to sort of like, they need to think about that, I would say.
Programming limpet drone. Prospect to limpet failed. Programming limpet drone. Prospect to limpet failed.
That's a good dynamic as well. About Thargoids turning up and attacking your megaship.
Engaged.
I think the fleet carriers, they said, yeah, we had to do it. Yeah, no problem. And I think so many people had them, right? Can you imagine the community turning up in their fleet carriers and saying, right, we're going to pacify a system? And people could. It's weird, isn't it? Yeah, so, you know, Thargoids have taken out your frameshift drive, for example. Defend the carrier for 30 minutes before repairs are made. So you do it for 20 minutes, and then it spins up and jumps away, or what have you. Jan Hanna, yeah, it should have a few more ships, and we're kind of, there's a couple of ships baked in lore, like the Boa. There's the Panther Clipper. All those games that have been out and about in the game for years, that Frontier must be sort of keeping in its back pocket for release to keep things fresh. I mean, Star Citizen's got hundreds of ships. No worries, mate. See you later. Go charge that phone. We'll be on tomorrow slightly later, about 5 o'clock GMT. Well, again, you say the fighter pilots, right? You can hire, say, 5 crew members, depending on the sort of ship that you want. Why can't that crew defend your carrier, right? And accrue their NPC crew points as well. And again, you're right, Ace. A sell history. See who's docked, who's bought from you, who's sold to you. You know, it's all these things are updates they could quite easily do, but I think they're concentrating now on getting Odyssey out. They've committed to the community. They've committed to their stockholders as well. So yeah, there's loads of things they could do, and you know, it's all food for thought. Especially when it comes to carriers. Everyone waited so much. They were delayed for a year because of whatever. Then they were released, but then they released what was happening with Odyssey the same week, which I reckon must have been a cock-up. And, you know, it does make you wonder what's going on. Yeah, they've made a change as well to like what's happening around nav points. Because as we've seen on this stream, I used to when I did my bounty hunting missions, I bounced in to the the nav point, and people would just come to me, wouldn't they? They would just gravitate towards my carrier, and I would shoot them. A carrier, Corvette, and I would shoot them. Now, since the update, none of that is happening. Yeah, high grade signals. Unfortunately, Anne, you've got to wait until, when is it now? October. You know, and it's a shame. Well, think about all the engineering you could do to equip your carrier, right? To make it, I wouldn't say be destroyed, not be destroyed, but for it to, if someone attacks you, you want to have the best armaments to fend off that attack. It's like, do it how the other capital ships do, the Federation ones. People go in there, take out all the guns, and then force it to leave the system. It never gets destroyed. Same with the carriers. They shouldn't get destroyed. They should be forced out of the system to the nearest repair yard. And if that nearest repair yard is, I don't know, say 500 light years away, well then so be it. And if that nearest repair yard, right, and if you haven't got any tritium to get there, right, then you have to wait a bit longer for it to be supplied with tritium to get there. It's got to be something that can be done. Or at least just jump out of system. Well, yeah, the Anaconda is the only ship in game to have battle damage. You know, it's a shame, that is, because, you know, when they've been pasted, they really do look They really do look good. All my limpets gone. Of course they are.
Programming limpet drone. Programming limpet drone. Programming limpet drone.
Right. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo.
Programming limpet drone. Prospector limpet failed.
Yeah, I'm not synthesizing limpets and wasting all my materials now. I need that when I'm doing bounty hunting and combat and sort of stuff. Well, I need to start stocking up on... I got plenty of limpets anyway, but on multi-cannon stuff. I mean, you know... How are we doing on our inventory? 178 tons of bromelite. It's taking ages.
Asteroid depleted.
Yeah, there's always things to do. Right? You know, I was thinking like this not so long ago. And then I started going back over all the other stuff that I did. The Thargoids, the Guardians, engineering, Powerplay. There's still so much to do.
Programming limpet drone.
But I know what you mean. It needs something a bit more dynamic. I'm not entirely sure first-person combat is the answer. People want to be using first-person combat to storm megaships, to storm these derelicts, to storm these colony ships.
Asteroid scan complete.
The odd bit of, I think, outpost combat,
Programming limpet drone.
I don't think it's going to cut it.
Prospector limpet failed.
You know, I'm not really a fan of this Elite Dangerous first-person combat stuff. I mean, it better be amazing, because if it isn't, it'll cripple what they've done with Odyssey. Then all you'd be getting is, oh look, I can walk around certain planets and see certain fauna and, you know, get my name on a planet. Ooh, you know, that for me is not worth it. You're right,
Prospector limpet.
Gottstein. I don't think I'm going to be much into it. I'll do it and do it for a bit. Yeah, you've got to see some of that horror. Some of those stories are chilling. You know? So there could be an aspect of going around back all around the old derelicts and,
Limpet expired. Asteroid scan.
you know, seeing that poor guy who was stuck in his cell and getting the logs from the cell. Because he was starving to death when he did something mediocre. They locked him in the bridge and everybody died. What was that on? One of the generational ships. So there's so much range they can do. It all depends what they're going to do. Isn't it? Looks like all those limpets are out there doing something else. Yeah, we were saying this earlier on at the beginning of the stream. It really does put the consoles at a disadvantage in regards to this. But like they were saying, like in the press release this week, the Q&A. Oh well, only 2.3 million star systems have been discovered. Yeah, but how far have you got to travel to get over the other side of the galaxy? Does make you wonder, doesn't it?
Asteroid
Well, think about salvage of, you know, generation ships. We've seen it with the Galconda is one of the only ones we've seen that still had people alive. But what about the salvage of all the other ones? Getting your name on salvage. How many materials could you get from the salvage rights of a generation ship? It would be loads, wouldn't it?
Asteroid depleted. Programming limpet drone. Prospect to limpet failed.
That one looks like it's got a core in it.
Prospect to limpet.
Alexandrite. Well, this could pay for the entire mining trip.
Asteroid
If we bang on over there and get a good core. Right, what have we got left? Still some bromelite fragments knocking about, but they must be out of range. Oh, here they come. So let's go over there and crack a core. And this is why I take a ship that's got seismic charge launchers on it. And an abrasion blaster. Where are we? Make sure we've got everything on the go. Brill. Right. Let's go over there. Let's go and crack a rock. Alexandrite, eh? And a bit of bromelite as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to zip that with the mining lasers first. Alright, because it's 8.89% bromelite there, which is not groundbreaking, but it'll do. Let's see what... We got a bromelite fragment there as well to shoot off. There's my prospector limpet. Right, so I'm not getting any more out of that. let's back off. Look for those fishes. Seismic charges. Right. In one. In two. Where's it gone? Three. Perhaps a little sneaky one now. There we go. Optimum yield range. Greetings, mighty Agoo. Right then, so let's crack this rock open, shall we? Right, volume up, everybody. Always nice. Always nice, right? You get a core, but you're not really looking at it. Still one of the best things in game. Right, abrasion blaster. Let's get around you. Oh, collector limpet. Look at it, all this stuff. It's all hidden. It's all hidden in the middle. Right, here we go. Right, stop. Right, there you go. Oh, it's a truly satisfying sound. You're right. You're so right there. I guess why the only reasons people do mining, I think. And each one of this Alexandrite is worth an absolute small fortune. So it's probably about 7 million credits worth there, which kind of makes doing this community goal this afternoon not so bad. At least it's contributing some way, in some form, right, to the upkeep of the ship. So I don't know whether some of you followed my Battlestar Galactica series, Battlestar Galactica Deadlock series on YouTube. I know some of you are new to the channel. But Battlestar Galactica Deadlock is a, I think, 8 DLC game, RTS game, set in the new Battlestar Galactica universe, but set during the First Cylon War. Anyway, I played that game to absolute death. I loved it. And still do, actually. And there's loads of those videos on the channel. However, right, and here's the big however, the publisher, Black Lab Games, or developer Black Lab Games, under the publisher of Slytherin Games, who do an awful lot of RTS games, they've got a new game coming out, and it's going to be released this Tuesday, which is great. So that'll be on Twitch. So I'll be interested to see what they're actually going to do. I thought they would have been lined up for Starship Troopers, but that's being done by another developer called Aristocrats. So exciting times. Just don't know when it's going to be released, but I'll be playing that to death as well. So 8 tons of Alexandrite at the moment, 191 of bromelite, 5 lithium hydroxide, and 13 tritium, which might kind of offset how much I spent jumping the carrier 300 light years to where I was to do this community goal. So we're still going. And we've got 211 limpets left, and not very much cargo hold space. We better start shooting off those limpets. Right, so what we got left? Loads of Alexandrite. Let's get more Let's get more of these limpets off on the go. And while we're here, let's start shooting off some more bromelite fragments. Give those limpets something to look at. Well, they're all in the same sort of area. Yeah, it's been crazy on Muscovite. Absolutely crazy. Let's find another rock to shoot, shall we? Fire some more collectors off. Don't want to leave Alexandrite out there begging. Well, the new show is on the BBC at the moment. I think it's been, isn't it on Amazon Prime as well? The new one, really good. Really good, I think. And they're doing another show in the same universe, but we'll have to see what all that's about. It's in production. Unfortunately, Caprica only lasted 1 season. I think there wasn't enough Cylons in it. You know. Which was a shame. A bit of bromelite over here. Here we go. Asteroid depleted. Okay then. Let's reorientate ourselves towards the planet, because that would make sense to know at least vaguely where we're going. And get some prospectors off on the go. It's interesting, isn't it? I don't think it is.
Asteroid scan complete. Programming limpet drone.
Get some more collectors out there.
Programming limpet drone. Programming limpet drone.
I want to totally maximize the amount I'm collecting. It was about the Cylons. It was the origin story. Exactly right. But I think people... I just don't know what people were expecting. I think people wanted a bit more... It wasn't about Battlestar Galactica. It wasn't about that at all. You know, you're right. It was a Cylon's origin story. But I think they wanted to see sort of like more Cylon occupation. You know? I mean, they got to it towards the end of the season, I understand. But... you know, I mean, what was a shame was the Blood and Chrome series. I think that really had legs, and it would have filled the gap because there was no Star Trek or anything on TV, and Battlestar Galactica: Blood and Chrome would have done it. They would have done it on television. Now you're falling over Star Trek left, right, and centre, especially with the new Pike thing that's going to be happening. Might have been, don't know. It's strange what audiences go for. I was watching something on Amazon the other night, and it was quite good. It's not my usual sort of thing, but it was enough technology in there and futurism to pique my interest, and it was called Upload. And it was all about people's brains being scanned into a virtual avatar simulation that when they die, their consciousness would live on in this simulation. And it's called Upload. It's got one season, and it's been renewed for another season. So, you know, hey, good on it. And there's a little bit of lovey-dovey to keep the ladies bloody interested as well. While you look at some of the future tech about it. You know, the self-driving cars by Apple, by Google, all that sort of thing. They really had done their homework. And it's quite a good bit of fun, you know? Yeah, Blood and Comb is good. It was a good... It was neat, and you know what? I think it had a long way to go. A long way to go.
Asteroid scan complete. Programming limpet drone. Programming limpet drone.
Right, I'm going to step away from the keyboard for a moment. And look at that. Limpets. Yes, I'm back. Okay, so. Good old limpets. Ever looked up close to a limpet? That be a limpet, that be. Take a quick high-res screenshot of that limpet. Bring back... They are bringing back Buck Rogers. They are. And, who signed up for it? George Clooney has signed up for being in the new Buck Rogers. Straight up. Not entirely sure... This is irritating, isn't it? Not entirely sure Tweaky's going to be in it, but, you know... I 3D printed a Tweaky. Haven't painted it yet, because A, I can't get the paint because of COVID, and B, it's the middle of winter and I've got nowhere to spray it. I have to spray outside. But yeah, Tweaky, Buck Rogers. Yeah, it's way stuff. You look it up. It's on the news. George Clooney signs up for Buck Rogers. Straight up. Go on the internet right now and check it out. It's oh, crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff.
Cargo scoop retracted. Cargo scoop deployed.
There's me mining lasers. There they are. Mine. What's up, Buck? That's right. So I printed out a full-size 3D printed Tweaky. I don't know where my missus has put it. Hopefully not in the bin. Must be out a shed. But yeah, I printed it out. But let's face it, you all watched Buck Rogers for Erin Gray. You all watched it for Wilma Deering. That's what it was all about. And if anyone says otherwise, you're lying.
Programming Limpet drone.
Straight up, let me know in the comments if you watched Buck Rogers for Wilma Deering, Erin Gray. Come on, I want everyone to comment in the comments, was it Erin Gray? Say yes, Erin Gray. Come on.
Asteroid scan complete.
Not even so much the princess, but the Princess Ardala. Not so much Erin Gray. Oh, yes indeed. She was exceptionally fit. And I think she's about 67 now. Right? And I saw her on something the other day. Was it on Geek and Sundry? They play all these Dungeons and Dragons and God knows whatever else. And she was on that. And she still looked good at 67. Never watched Buck Rogers in your life? Well, you're missing something. Go on YouTube and watch Buck Rogers. That's some good cheesy 70s 70s. You're right. The princess had nothing on Erin. It was like a burger in compared to a steak. That's how I put it. Erin Gray. Shiny lips. Shiny everything, no doubt. Right, I don't know what that is. Bromelite. Let's blast that off. There we go. There's another one around the corner. It is camptastic. There are some really good storyline. I enjoyed the first season. I think first 2 seasons. And then they went on the spaceship, right? Didn't they? Earth 1. Didn't enjoy that. And there was some sort of robot on there that looked like a flipping lamppost. Didn't enjoy that at all. But they brought in a guy called Hawk, who had Hawk Fighter. And then there was also one called Lady Hawk. And she was alright. But Hawk had a cool ship, man. Really cool ship. That's all we had to watch back in the 70s, like, you know, it was crazy stuff. Crazy wild.
Programming limpet
But yes, Erin Grey. That's what it's all about.
prospector limpet failed.
Jeanette and Suzanne.
Programming limpet drone.
But yeah, good sci-fi. Switch your brains off.
Limpet failed.
I think the film was on the Sci-Fi channel not so long ago. The Buck Rogers film.
Complete. Engaged. Asteroid scan complete.
Ah, yeah, happier times. Happier times. Good old Buck Rogers. So here's a top tip, right? Back in the 70s, there's only a few sort of real sci-fi artists and designers. And all the films, Star Wars, Battlestar Galactica, Buck Rogers, the same artists basically worked on them all, concept artists. So the X-Wing fighter,
Asteroid
right, the Viper from Battlestar Galactica was meant to be the X-Wing fighter, right? And the Carillion Corvette was meant to be the Millennium Falcon, and the the Buck Rogers Thunder Fighter, so the two-pointed fighter, that was meant to be in Battlestar Galactica. Now the game, Battlestar Galactica Deadlock, they put the Thunder Fighter in, or a variant of it, which was quite good and quite interesting as well. But you look it up; it's all true words. Yeah, it was Buck Rogers, Battlestar Galactica, and then you might have had the A-Team as well, I think it was. I missed the A-Team. The A-Team was absolutely bloody brilliant. I mean, I quite enjoyed the reboot film, to be honest. I mean, that should have been going somewhere else, but it was good fun, good laugh. Yeah, it's true words. Now, Ralph McQuarrie was the main concept artist on Star Wars. But also, you know, he did the concepts for a lot of others as well. So all these designs, you know, if Lucas didn't want this ship for Star Wars, well then it was the Viper on Battlestar Galactica. And then you had all the other cheesy films like Battle Beyond the Stars with that guy off the Waltons. And they just blatantly ripped off all the B-roll stock footage, right? From Battlestar Galactica and other shows, and put it in their film to keep the sci-fi budget, to keep the budget of all the spaceships down. So that was quite interesting.
programming limpet drone. Prospector limpet engaged.
Yeah, exactly.
Limpet drone.
Oh, Battle Beyond the Stars, unbelievable. George Peppard was in that. Couple of this guy from the Waltons. Couple of famous actors are in that as well. All good, interesting stuff. Spaceballs. Do you know what? I watched it when it first came out. It was alright, wasn't it? You know, it was a spoof. It was a parody. It was good. I was a big fan of John Candy. Real big fan of John Candy. You know, he did some brilliant films. But, you know, is it up there with I mean, it's a cult classic. But is it a classic? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, there was an awful lot of Star Wars-esque films out around that time. There was one called Android. And my father took me to the cinema to go and see it. Years ago. I mean, I I don't know, about 8 or 10, something like that. That sort of time frame. It was called Android. Anyway, this guy gets experimented on, and my father swore blind it never happened. This film, but it did, because I showed him the video, and when I showed him the video that I managed to get online somewhere, it was absolutely ridiculously rubbish. The blatantness of the rip-off on it was ridiculous. It was terrible, absolutely terrible. But Krull, another good science fiction. You know, that was really good. And you're right, Mel Brooks, absolute genius. Hello, Commander Marcus. How are you doing? Hope you're alright too. We're doing the community goal here, and then just talking about cheesy sci-fi. Well, Dirk Benedict was on Big Brother, Celebrity Big Brother, about, I think, 6 years ago? 7 years ago? I know he suffered an awful lot with his health. I think he's still alive. Alexa, is Dirk Benedict still alive?
Dirk Benedict is still alive. He is 75 years old.
There you are. Dirk Benedict is 75 years of age. No worries, Marcus. I'll give you a shout. So yeah, old Dirk Benedict, 75 years of age. Those were the classic films. Yeah. It was a bit Conan-esque, swords and sandals, with a bit of science fiction and spaceships in. Krull reminds me a little bit like Riddick, the Chronicles of Riddick, the same sort of thing. You know what I mean? Jochen war, Marcus. It was cheesy, but Krull had that glaive, didn't he? The sort of like 5-pointed throwing style. He just went off and did one and killed everybody. That was the thing about Krull. And there was a Cyclops in it. And it's a bit of a cross between, I think, Clash of the Titans and Star Wars, really. Anyway, there you are. It is what it is.
Prospector limpet engaged.
So we're doing our best to fill the hull here. We've still got 182 limpets on the go. Claudia Black, yeah. She's got a husky voice, isn't she? So, you never know, do you? There might be a voice command voice for it. I mean, they got all the Shatner, for God's sake, so... Anything's possible. They can get all the Shats. Yeah, Riddick was good. It's a really good first film. But, like, you know, what comes next for Riddick? He sits on the throne. Everyone trying to do him in.
Asteroid scan complete.
That's the thing with Riddick. I mean, there was a huge drought of science fiction for years. No one wanted it. You know? Which is a shame. There's certainly an appetite for it now. I mean, I haven't watched The Expanse yet. I'm currently going through House of Cards. And when I finish that, I'm on to The Expanse. And that's meant to be very good. And then I saw on Netflix last night, there was... What was it? Some sort of Japanese version of it as well. That was on there. Let's mine this stuff up. materials we get in. Nothing mind blazing. Bit of iron, bit of carbon, bit of sulfur.
Programming limpet drone. Prospect to limpet failed. Prospect to limpet engaged. Programming limpet drone. Prospect to limpet
Look at that. An asteroid so full of water it should be blue. Let's mine it, see what materials we get on the go. All the limpets can still reach it.
prospect to limpet engaged.
Yeah, they got Spock. Well, they're doing, is it Strange New Worlds with Captain Pike, which is good, because that actor, Anson Mount, who played Pike in Discovery, bloody good portrayal of Pike there. You know, and I hope that does really well. I'm looking forward to that. More big news or rumours. They're talking about redoing the Star Wars trilogy. And, you know, the last 3 films. How exactly they're going to do that, by using B-roll and other stock footage, I don't know. But, and of course, some people are dead. You know, Carrie Fisher passed away, didn't she? So, you know, I don't know how they're going to do it, but that's the rumour. Because in Rebels, Star Wars Rebels, that cartoon, there was some sort of like force pathway mirrors of telling the future. They may be using that.
Prospect to limpet failed.
Gentle Dad, what do you mean? They also have Spock. Oh, right. Yeah, I got you. Yeah. Voice packs. Got you. Yeah, it's called Leonard Nimoy. I bought Holly from Red Dwarf. Seemed like a good idea at the time. And it was. I just don't use the voice packs.
Programming limpet drone.
So all that's left is loads of water, phosphorus, and carbon. Let's get on our merry way over there. Well, apparently, yeah, I would really love the last 3 to disappear, to be honest. Well, I don't know. I enjoyed Force Awakens. They shouldn't have killed off Han Solo, right? Other than Han Solo dying, I thought it was good. The Last Jedi, utter rubbish. Utter rubbish. Right? Prove me wrong. I'll accept arguments to the contrary. The Rise of Skywalker, well, to be fair, they'd lost me after The Last Jedi. I had to watch it because it was Star Wars. And it was okay. It was an okay film. I just think people hadn't bonded to the characters of Rey and Kylo. You know? They hadn't bonded to them. And I think, you know, they upset an awful lot of the Star Wars community there. Good films, right? But I didn't enjoy them. You know, everyone was hunting that Empire Strikes Back moment. And there was never an Empire Strikes Back moment there. And they had all the opportunities. Now, The Mandalorian, as we know, and we've spoken about The Mandalorian on this stream extensively, is absolutely brilliant. And I think Disney's way of going through the episodic route, I think is brilliant. You know, is inspired. And old Jon Favreau and the other guy, Filoni.
Complete.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's one of those things. Dave Filoni, that's the fella. They're doing fantastic work with The Mandalorian. And, you know, you got the Tales of Boba Fett coming up afterwards, or perhaps before. Ahsoka Tano, Lando Calrissian. They announced, you know, I'm not too sure about what's going to happen with the Rogue Squadron film, given after I saw Wonder Woman, and I thought that was atrocious. Wonder Woman 1980 was absolutely abysmal. And I think I said this as well on the stream. The special effects were horrendous. Utterly horrendous. You know, for a big title like that. Terrible. Solo is a really good film. And Rogue One. Rogue One was really good. But the others, pfft, pants. Utter pants. Which is a shame, really, because they had it all. I mean, Abrahams, I think he had a lot to make up for, you know, The Last Jedi. And there's only so much people can do, innit? But then everybody hated the prequels when George Lucas did them. Okay. More bromelite mining. Rogue One was really good, right? How they brought Peter Cushing back for Tarkin, Carrie Fisher. But it tied nicely into, right, A New Hope. And that's what people want to see. They don't want to, in my opinion, this is my opinion, they don't want to see the iPad stormtroopers. They want to see the old villains. That's why when Luke Skywalker was in The Mandalorian, it provoked so much of a community response from the fan base. That's what people want to see. They want to see old style stormtroopers. Yeah, okay, you know, it was 30 years later and what have you, and things move on, right? Everyone understands the logic of why he did it, of why they did it. But, like, you know, R2-D2 wasn't in it too much. Which was a shame, because there's no excuse now, because it can all be achieved with remote control in CGI. Why not? They want to see those things. I mean, I just think, well, judging by, you know, the fact there's virtually no merchandise out for it, that's how bad it was. Abraham Lincoln Vampire. When was that? Was a couple of years ago, wasn't it? I didn't see that. I must have missed it. I remember it coming up and thinking, oh yeah, I've got to watch that. And then couldn't get a hold of it. It wasn't on the streaming services.
Prospect to Limpet failed. Prospect to Limpet failed. Prospect to Limpet engaged. Asteroid scan complete.
Ooh, bit of tritium here, boys. Boys and girls.
Asteroid scan complete.
Take the pink death of my mining lasers. I really enjoyed Van Helsing, the movie. A lot of people said it was rubbish. I thought it was brilliant. Then again, I enjoyed Waterworld. And then, what was the other film I really enjoyed as well? League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Everyone said that was rubbish. I thought it was a brilliant film. I watched it the other day. I think it was over Christmas, in fact. I think everyone in the media is so intent on the problems during production, like with Solo, that kind of overshadows the film. Solo, you know, taken over by Ron Howard, how much he had to reshoot or not, I don't know. And there was all the hoo-ha around about the guy who played Aaron, what's his name, who played Han Solo, and how they had to have acting coaches, all this stuff. You can't believe it. It might have happened, it might not have happened. But I thought it was a brilliant film. That's a brilliant film. And I think that will achieve cult status. Yeah, I thought Van Helsing, right, that could have done with a sequel. And people would have watched it. You know, I thought Hugh Jackman played it really well. Was it Hugh Jackman? It wasn't Hugh Jackman, was it? It was, or was it? Was it Hugh Jackman in Van Helsing? I think it was. Yes, give me all that bromelite. Yeah, I think you're right there. Rogue One was perhaps the most better film. Solo was fun. You know, if that was the only thing on television tonight, I'd watch it again. You know, I really... well, it hasn't got to be the only thing on television. I would watch it anyway. Really good film. It does make you wonder that the directors that left halfway through, was it something and Lord, who once did Toy Story, what theirs would have looked like. Asteroid depleted. Moving on to the one just next to it. It's certainly handy with Elite Dangerous having, you know, 6 limpets on the go. I know it's a lot of commanders that have even more limpets running and just go with the mining lasers. But, you know, I'm happy with this configuration. Yep, it's all about the bromelite here. 230 tons of it. 16 alexandrite, 19 tritium, 6 lithium hydroxide. Yeah, they've got to put that lock or a pin on. There was that time with the Amazon devices where they turned around and they were ordering. Kids were saying, you know, hey, I want that. And it was just turning up on hundreds of pounds worth of toys and things like that. That was quite funny. Everyone started putting the locks on their devices then. So my ship's getting battered to hell. Let's go forward a bit. Get out of the way of that asteroid.
Programming limpet drone.
Get the rest of the limpets on the go.
Programming limpet drone.
Alright. And what are we going to point at? That's a gnarly old rock with deposits, isn't it?
Collector limpet expired. Programming limpet drone. Prospector limpet failed. Collector limpet expired.
Yeah, you got to do a voice lock on things. Especially these days.
Programming limpet drone. Prospector limpet failed.
Is that a core over there? It might not be. Something going on with it. Bit of bromelite and a bit of bromelite. Nothing to write home about though.
Collector limpet expired. Asteroid scan complete.
Oh, that's nice. A little dash hound. That's great. They say we've got a little schnauzer. But you enjoy that, puppy. Have fun with that. If you're looking at the Steam tomorrow, probably be starting around about 5 o'clock GMT. Okay? See you, got Steam.
Asteroid depleted. Programming limpet drone. Programming limpet drone.
Right, where was that? Let's have a look. Now all of a sudden, all these rocks like that. It's going to be one behind there, isn't it? Could be. It's a nice bright rock.
Programming limpet drone. Prospector limpet failed. Programming limpet drone. Prospector limpet failed. Prospector limpet engaged. Asteroid scan complete. Prospector limpet engaged.
You can put different voices on now as well, can't you? And I know in America they've come up with celebrity voices on their Amazon devices.
Collector limpet expired.
Ooh, a little bit of arsenic come out of that one. Look at that. Bit of nickel, always handy when reloading. Right, asteroids depleted. That's the one there that I'm pointing right at. I'm interested in. Right behind that one.
Programming limpet drone.
Yeah, exactly. I'm in the rock. I'm in a rocky ring now, and it's everywhere, especially for bromelite. And it's good to have a little bit of tritium and a little bit of alexandrite to pay the bills, you know. Okay, so let's get over here. Do a bit more mining. Get this rock, 24.80%. High content materials as well. But it's that rock behind it I'm interested. Glowing a funny colour. Unleash the lasers and the flying monkeys. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? You're either lucky with mining or you're not. That's the way I see it. Mine it while you can get it. Right. I want to pop a prospector in that rock there.
Programming limpet drone.
It was glowing a funny colour.
Prospector limpet failed. Prospector limpet engaged.
Bit of bromelite. Well, that's what we're here for. So cool.
Asteroid scan complete.
So yeah, all the limpets are doing their thing. Whoop, what's happened? We've gone past the rock.
Programming limpet drone. Prospector limpet.
I'm looking for another core. I mean, there could be one up there. That one. Could be.
Programming limpet drone. Prospector limpet engaged. Prospector limpet failed. Asteroid scan complete. Prospector limpet engaged. Asteroid scan complete.
Lithium hydroxide. Well, that makes a refreshing change, doesn't it? So we're going to mine that. We get in between the two rocks. Like that. The limpets won't have too far to go.
Asteroid depleted.
Just so happens there's a little nudge over. We'll be in range.
Asteroid depleted.
You right? asteroid all gone. And then what I'm going to have to do is do a quick bit of prospecting.
Collector limpet expired. Programming limpet drone.
To get some space in the cargo hold.
Failed.
Because we're running out.
Programming limpet drone. Programming limpet drone. Programming limpet drone. Prospector limpet engaged. Asteroid scan complete. Prospector limpet engaged.
Bromelite there and bromelite there. And quite close by as well, which is good. So, what we're going to do, we're going to get all our collector limpets to finish off collecting what we've mined here. Get ourselves over there. So it's been a quite nice chill out stream, I think, this afternoon. Nothing major, no major expectations. We've had a good chat, haven't we? Bromelite is so prevalent within this system. You know, it makes a refreshing change, especially for a community goal. Nice and easy. Switch your brain off. Escapism viewing. Extreme ice mining. No, it's extreme bromelite white water rapids mining, as they say on Discovery. Was it white water bromelite? That's what it is. But no. So what we're going to do is we're going to stream again tomorrow. I've got another account down at Robigo. Do a few Robigo mine streams as well. Just get a bit more money down there because I've got a commander down there with only 10 million. And I'm on the ragged edge down there, right? That's nowhere near enough money for a commander. So we'll use the Robigo one and then perhaps swap back to this then a little bit later on in the stream once I've had totally enough of Robiga. Yeah, a mid-episode crisis and a satisfying yes. And Ricardo, his sluice bucket's broken. Oh no way! What's he gonna do? His mining laser's broken. I'll have to go back to the station and get it repaired. I know exactly what you mean. My missus watches all those gold mining programs as well. We're even on, I think it's opal miners. Australian outback opal mining. Again, you know, it's good. Turn your brain off viewing, if anything else. And you always know these guys who are doing the gold mining, right? They're it's like one bucket for them, one bucket for the tax man. So you know you can see where things are going with it anyway. You know, whatever. Good for them. And the amount of rocks they're picking out the ground. Not like Elite Dangerous, where you've got to fly halfway around the bloody galaxy to get a decent mother load. And then when you do get a decent mother load, you sell it at a station that says it's going to give you 700,000 credits for it. And they want to give you 400,000 credits for it. That's just rude, in my opinion. Yeah, well, I did pirate fighting last week, you know. It's good stuff. I enjoyed it. But all about the community goal this week. Exactly, right? That's what it is. So what we're going to do is we're going to end the stream there. Thanks, everybody, for turning around and liking, subscribing, and all the rest of it. Thanks, you cunt. When you say it, it's just funny, innit? Right? So thanks, everybody, for liking, subscribing, following the video, and joining me on this Saturday afternoon. I've been Ricardo. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And I will see you tomorrow after the rugby. I'll either be in a good mood or I'll be drinking heavily. So I'll see you soon. Catch you later.